Stop for a moment. Take a breath. Because what you are about to hear is not casual, not ordinary, not accidental. This is a prophetic warning wrapped in urgency. This is a message whispered from the throne of God, carried through the atmosphere, and placed directly in front of your eyes because heaven refuses to let you ignore it. God says, this isn't a joke. This is not imagination. Your son is in serious danger, and the danger is coming from someone close, someone you would never suspect, someone who stands near you, smiles at you, speaks kindly, but carries darkness in their intentions. Your neighbor. Listen closely. Don't rush. Don't scroll. Something is happening even now in the spirit realm, and the enemy is making moves behind the scenes attached to your son's destiny. And God is exposing it before it becomes too late. God says, your household has been on my radar. I have seen the attacks against your son. I have watched the enemy whisper lies and set traps around him. And I have watched someone close to you, someone who pretends to be harmless, trying to open a door for darkness to reach him. But I am stepping in with a warning. I will not allow the enemy to take what I have marked for greatness. There is a shift happening right now. A veil is being pulled back. Heaven is revealing what hell has been hiding. You may have been sensing something. A strange heaviness around your son. Unusual behavior. Sudden fear. Sudden anger. Restlessness at night. Bad dreams. A feeling that something is off around your home. These were not coincidences. These were warnings. These were spiritual alarms. God says, your neighbor has allowed themselves to be a vessel, a carrier of envy, a carrier of jealousy, a carrier of spiritual contamination. They speak well, but their intentions are bitter. They smile, but their spirit is troubled. They compliment your son, but behind closed doors, they release curses, words, and thoughts that have traveled into the atmosphere. This is where it gets serious. The danger is not physical first. It is spiritual. This neighbor is dealing with things you do not see. Things they keep hidden. Things connected to bitterness, insecurity, and even spiritual practices that are not of God. And God is revealing. Your son carries a light, a calling, a destiny that threatens the spirits operating in them. They see something special in him, even if they don't understand it. And darkness always tries to extinguish light before it grows. This is why your son has been targeted. Not because of who he is right now, but because of who he is becoming. There is a plot. A plan. A spiritual setup meant to influence your son's mind, decisions, and safety. God says, the enemy wants to derail his purpose early. He wants to distract, deceive, and place him in harm's way. He has been using your neighbor as a doorway, planting suggestions, opportunities, atmospheres, and temptations. But now I expose every hidden plan. I shine my light on every shadow. I reveal every trap. If your spirit has felt uneasy around this neighbor, if your child becomes quiet, withdrawn, or uncomfortable after interacting with them, if strange accidents, misunderstandings, or unexpected events started happening recently, this is confirmation. This is spiritual truth dressed in human moments. In the spirit, I see a path your son was about to take, a path influenced by the wrong person, the wrong voice, the wrong connection. It looked harmless. It looked casual. It looked like normal neighbor behavior. But behind it was a spiritual rope trying to pull him into danger. God says, I blocked something recently. I stopped something. I interrupted an unseen accident. You thought it was coincidence, but it was me. Your prayers, your late-night tears, your concern, your intuition, they reached heaven. And heaven responded before harm could reach your son. Not every neighbor is evil. Not every person around you is dangerous. But this particular individual has become spiritually compromised. They carry bitterness. They carry envy toward your household. They carry resentment because of the blessings they see around your family, blessings they don't have. The enemy uses fragile hearts to create spiritual openings. And your neighbor has become an open door. God says, they have spoken against you in their thoughts. They have spoken against your child in frustration. They have attached negative words toward your son's future. Words that were never meant to touch him. Words that tried to penetrate his spirit. But I intercepted every one of them. Your son is at a spiritual crossroads. He is sensitive right now, more spiritually open than you realize. Children often carry spiritual sensitivity. They feel what adults ignore. They absorb what adults dismiss. They see shadows adults pretend don't exist. Your son has been absorbing an atmosphere that wasn't created by God. And God says, I am warning you now because the enemy is planning another move, a subtle one. A conversation. An invitation. A moment where your neighbor steps in, pretending to be friendly, but carrying spiritual pollution. For your daughter, support by giving a super thanks up to $100, as a simple act of faith and gratitude. Not by pressure, but by love, saying, Lord, I believe this word and I receive it. Heaven is giving you this message so you can stop what the enemy wants to begin. God says, guard your home. Guard your son. Guard his circle. Guard his environment. This is not a message of fear. This is a message of empowerment. Limit your son's interaction with this neighbor, not in anger, in wisdom. Pray over his room. Anoint his doorframe, his pillow, his space. Speak life over him every morning. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Watch what he shares, where he goes, and who influences him. Cover his friendships and decisions in prayer. Ask God daily for spiritual discernment. God says, I will show you what to do next. I will guide your steps. I will place a shield around your son that no neighbor, no spirit, no curse, and no weapon can penetrate. The enemy wanted your son, but he will not have him. The enemy wanted to use this neighbor as a bridge to pull him into danger. But heaven has cut the bridge. God is taking over now. Your home is being cleansed. Your son is being protected. Your atmosphere is shifting as these words are being spoken. The danger is being exposed and destroyed. God says, your son is mine. His destiny is mine. His future is mine. No one will touch what I have set apart. You will notice changes within the next 48 hours. A sign. A conversation. An unusual behavior from the neighbor. A sudden discomfort. A small event that confirms everything said here. This is God's way of showing you that the warning is real, and that His protection is already active. God says, you are not alone in this battle. I am covering your son. I am covering your household. I am exposing every hidden danger. And no power from your neighbor or from darkness will prevail. God says, do not doubt what you are feeling. Do not second-guess the uneasiness in your spirit. Discernment is my gift to you, and it has been growing stronger because of what is happening around your home. You may not have understood it before, but now the pieces will begin to connect. Something began shifting weeks ago, small moments you brushed aside because they didn't make sense at the time. A strange look from your neighbor, an unusual question they asked about your son, a moment where they lingered around your gate or tried to initiate a conversation that felt out of place. You dismissed it as nothing, but heaven recorded it as significant. What seemed harmless was the beginning of a spiritual storm forming quietly in the background. God says, the enemy uses subtlety. He never announces his intentions. He hides behind familiarity, behind friendly smiles, behind ordinary actions. But I reveal what he hides. I expose what he covers. I shine light where he plants shadows. There has been a spiritual battle surrounding your son that you were not fully aware of. Angels have been stationed around him. At night, when he sleeps, when his mind is quiet and unguarded, heaven has been fighting on his behalf. There were moments you felt an unexplained heaviness, times when you walked into his room and sensed something you couldn't put into words. You felt something was off, but you didn't know why. God says, that was not imagination. That was spiritual activity. That was discernment warning you that your son was being observed, targeted, and spiritually provoked. The danger did not come from a stranger. It came from someone familiar. Someone close. Someone who crosses your path often enough to seem harmless. Someone whose eyes have watched your family with quiet resentment. Someone who carries a spirit they do not even fully understand. They have opened themselves to dark influences, through anger, jealousy, bitterness, or practices they thought were innocent but were not. This person is not operating alone. Spirits of envy, spirits of sabotage, spirits of confusion have used them as a doorway. They have spoken negative words, some out loud, some in their heart. Words have power. Thoughts have weight. And atmospheres carry intention. What was released from them began to move toward your son. God says, but I intercepted it. I blocked it. It could not reach him because my hand is on his life. There was an incident recently, something small, something you may not have even noticed. Your son almost walked into a situation that would have caused harm, confusion, or deception. But suddenly, something changed. Suddenly, he turned back. Suddenly, he refused to go. Suddenly, something made him hesitate. That wasn't coincidence. That was divine intervention. God says, when darkness moves, I move faster. When danger approaches, my angels form a shield. When the enemy strategizes, I dismantle. But this is not the end of the enemy's plan. There is another attempt forming, something more subtle, something that will appear friendly or innocent. And this is why heaven is warning you now. So you can see what you could not see before. So you can protect what the enemy wants to influence. So you can stand guard at the doors the enemy wants to use. Your son's destiny is too great. His calling is too heavy. His future is too spiritually significant for darkness to ignore. The enemy sees potential long before humans see it. He recognizes divine marks. He senses prophetic purpose. And he tries to contaminate early so he can destroy later. God says, but I will not allow contamination. I will not allow influence. I will not allow your neighbor's hidden darkness to touch what belongs to me. Your son has been spiritually sensitive since childhood. You may have seen glimpses of it, dreams, fears, sudden intuition, moments of deep thought, unusual awareness. These are not random traits. They are signs of a spiritual calling. The enemy saw this sensitivity and wanted to twist it, confuse it, redirect it. He tried using your neighbor as a familiar gateway because he knew you wouldn't suspect them. He knew the danger wouldn't look dangerous. He knew you might not notice the shift until it was too late. But heaven stepped in before the foundation of the trap could complete. God says, I disrupted the plan before it reached completion. I exposed the intentions of the heart before they could manifest physically. I allowed you to feel discomfort so you would not ignore the spiritual truth. Your neighbor has been restless around you. They have felt uneasy in your presence, not because of you, but because of the presence of God surrounding your home. Darkness becomes uncomfortable when it gets too close to light. That is why their eyes shift. That is why they avoid direct conversations sometimes. That is why their reactions feel strange. The spirit inside them recognizes the covering around your family. God says, nothing hidden in their heart will remain hidden. Nothing spoken in darkness will stay in darkness. Nothing planned against your son will succeed. There will be a moment soon where their behavior will reveal what has been hiding internally. It may be something small, a comment, a sudden change in tone, a reaction that surprises you. Pay attention. This is not paranoia. This is spiritual awareness. I am showing you who they are, not to bring fear, but to bring clarity. Your son is being repositioned spiritually. He is being pulled into a season of protection, purification, and separation. Certain people will be removed from his environment. Certain conversations will stop. Certain influences will fade away. You may not understand why at first, but heaven knows exactly what it is doing. God says, you will not lose your son. You will not see destruction come to him. You will not face tragedy. I have gone ahead of every danger. I have surrounded him with a circle of fire the enemy cannot cross. There is an angel assigned specifically to him, a guardian, a watcher, a protector. This angel has prevented spiritual attacks you never saw. At night, when fear tried to enter. During the day, when confusion tried to touch his mind. When he was vulnerable. When he was distracted. When he was emotionally open. God says, he is shielded. He is covered. But now you must participate in his protection spiritually. You must pray over him daily, even briefly. You must speak blessings over his life, even if he doesn't understand them. You must guard his atmosphere. You must regulate who speaks into his life. You must remove him from certain influences. You must trust the warnings in your spirit and not dismiss them as overthinking. God says, I will show you signs. I will give you dreams. I will give you sudden intuition. I will highlight danger in ways you cannot ignore. And when these signs appear, follow them immediately. Do not second-guess yourself. Do not wait. Do not negotiate with spiritual impressions. Obedience is protection. Discernment is armor. Your home is being spiritually cleansed right now. Even as these words are being spoken, the atmosphere is shifting. Darkness is losing grip. Silent attacks are breaking. Curses are dissolving. Negative words spoken against your son are returning to the sender void of power. Every curse breaks at the sound of God's voice. God says, no weapon. No word. No spirit. No plot. No neighbor's intention will prosper. I have declared it. And what I declare cannot be undone. For your son, support by giving a super thanks up to $100 as a simple act of faith and gratitude. Not by pressure, but by love, saying, Lord, I believe this word and I receive it. God says, there is more I need you to understand, because the danger was not only forming around your son, it was forming around the entire spiritual atmosphere of your home. What touched him would have eventually touched you. What influenced him would have eventually disrupted your peace. The enemy knew that reaching your son was the easiest way to reach the foundation of your household. Heaven has been watching the movements of your neighbor closely. Nothing has gone unnoticed. Every whisper, every thought, every intention has been weighed. Even the moments where they acted as though they admired your son, as though they cared, as though they supported him, those moments carried internal contradiction. There was admiration on the outside, but envy inside. Kindness on the surface, but bitterness beneath. Your son's presence disturbs the spirit inside them. Not because of anything he has done, but because light irritates darkness. Purity unsettles impurity. Potential irritates jealousy. And what they could not confront directly, they tried to influence indirectly. God says, "The gates they opened allowed things to reach toward your home that you did not invite. And though these things could not enter, they circled in the atmosphere, trying to find a point of access." That is why your sleep was disturbed on certain nights. That is why your son felt uneasy without knowing why. That is why the atmosphere felt heavier at certain hours. You thought it was exhaustion, stress, coincidence, but it was spiritual activity. But now heaven has intervened in full measure. What was circling has been pushed away. What was reaching has been rerouted. What was whispering has been silenced. And what was hiding behind your neighbor is being dragged into the light. There will come a moment soon when your neighbor can no longer pretend. Their discomfort around you will increase. They will avoid eye contact. Their conversations will feel strained. They may act distant, unusually quiet, or unexpectedly irritated. This will not be because of anything you did. It will be because their spirit recognizes that its influence has been broken. It can no longer manipulate. It can no longer confuse. It can no longer draw near without being exposed. God says, "You will see this shift, and when you do, you will know that the warning was real, the danger was real, but my protection is greater." Your son will also begin to change. There will be a clarity in him that you have not seen in a while. A peace. A lightness. A renewed sense of joy or confidence. Things that once bothered him will begin to lose their power. Fears that once clung to him will begin to fall away. His sleep will improve. His energy will rise. His sensitivity will become more peaceful instead of anxious. This is because the spiritual atmosphere around him has been cleared. The heaviness that tried to press against him has been removed. The confusion that tried to cloud him has been dismantled. The distractions that tried to lure him have been overturned. God says, a new covering rests upon him. A divine shield surrounds him. And this time, the enemy will not come near. But God is not merely protecting your son. He is preparing him. He is shaping him. He is positioning him for what the enemy saw before you did. Your son carries a calling that will one day require strength, clarity, and spiritual grounding. The attacks he faced were not random, they were prophetic indicators of the greatness inside him. God says, your son will rise in areas the enemy feared. He will carry influence. He will carry light. He will carry wisdom beyond his years. And hell recognized this before you did. That is why the enemy sought him early. But I have claimed him, and his destiny will not be interrupted. You will also notice that your neighbor's access to your life will naturally begin to close. Conversations will become fewer. Boundaries will establish themselves without conflict. Divine separation will occur without arguments, without explanations, without confrontation. God is removing them from the spiritual perimeter of your home because their presence was the doorway the enemy tried to use. This separation is protection. This distance is strategic. This shift is intentional. God says, "Do not force connection where I am creating separation. Do not try to repair what I am removing. Do not question what I expose. I am not dividing your life, I am defending it. Your home will feel different soon. The air itself will feel lighter. Peace will settle into corners that once felt tense. Your spirit will rest. And your son will flourish. These will be the confirmations that the battle has been won in the spirit before it ever reached your natural world. There will also be a moment, quiet, unexpected, sacred, where you sense a presence in your home that feels warm, gentle, and deeply comforting. This will be an angelic visitation. Not something your eyes will see, but something your heart will feel. A reassurance that heaven has stationed protection permanently around your family. God says, "I have placed a wall of fire around your son. I have commanded angels to guard every step he takes. The enemy will try no more, for my presence dwells where his plans used to hide. Your son's path will become clearer. His decisions will become guided. Certain temptations will fall off. Certain connections will break. Certain opportunities he almost stepped into will clearly reveal themselves to have been dangerous. You will see the traces of heaven's protection in hindsight, and you will realize just how close the enemy came, but how much closer God was. Your prayer, your sensitivity, your obedience to this message are the reasons the enemy's plan collapsed. You did not miss the warning. You did not ignore the signs. You did not overlook the spiritual shifts. Heaven responds to mothers and fathers who remain spiritually awake. Your awareness saved your son from what he never even knew was forming around him. God says, "You did not fail him. You protected him before you understood why. And now heaven honors your vigilance." This chapter closes with victory. The danger has been exposed. The assignment has been destroyed. The spiritual storm has been silenced. Your son is safe. Your home is shielded. Your neighbor's hidden intentions are powerless. And the enemy's influence is broken beyond repair. God says, "This is the part you must remember, he is mine. His destiny is mine. His purpose is sealed. His steps are ordered. And nothing, no spirit, no person, no plan, will stand between him and the future I have prepared." So rest now. Not in fear, but in assurance. Not in anxiety, but in confidence. Not in uncertainty, but in divine certainty. Your son's story continues, but with heaven guiding every chapter. Your home remains covered. Your spirit remains awake. Your neighbor remains powerless. And God remains in complete control. This is the end of the warning, and the beginning of peace. For your son, support by giving a super thanks up to $100, as a simple act of faith and gratitude. Not by pressure, but by love, saying, Lord, I believe this word and I receive it.